Welcome to Little Dreamers Bedtime Stories. Before we begin, take a slow, deep breath and let the sound of the ocean wash gently over your thoughts. The waves rise and fall like a heartbeat, and far beneath the moonlit sea, pearls shimmer in the dark. Tonight's story is about a young mermaid whose heart longed for the world above the waves, a tale of love, wonder, and the quiet courage to follow a dream, no matter how deep the water. So, close your eyes, listen for the whisper of the tide, and drift into the Little Mermaid.
Little Dreamers Bedtime Stories.
Once upon a time, far beneath the shimmering surface of the sea, there was a kingdom made entirely of coral towers and seashell palaces. The walls sparkled like pearls, and soft music drifted through the water, songs sung by mermaids with voices sweeter than sea breeze. Among them lived the youngest daughter of the Sea King, a curious and kind mermaid with long, flowing red hair and a heart full of dreams. She loved to listen to stories about the world above the waves, the sun, the stars, and the people who walked on land. Every night she gazed upward, where the water turned to silver under the moonlight, and whispered, "Someday, I'll see the world above." The gentle current carried her voice like a lullaby through the kingdom, while tiny fish twinkled like underwater stars. When the Little Mermaid turned 16, she was finally allowed to swim to the surface. Her heart fluttered with excitement as she rose through the soft blue water. Tiny silver fish swirled around her like falling stars, and the higher she swam, the brighter everything became, until at last she broke through the waves and saw the sky. It stretched endlessly above her, painted in shades of gold and pink. The air smelled different, light and salty, and the wind brushed her face like a kind hand. In the distance, she saw a great ship gliding across the sea, covered in glowing lanterns. Laughter and music drifted toward her. She swam closer, hiding behind the foam, and there she saw him, a handsome young prince, standing beneath fluttering flags, smiling as fireworks lit the night. The Little Mermaid watched in awe, her heart beating like a drum. Everything about this world, the sky, the people, the sound of their joy, felt like a dream. But suddenly, the sky darkened. The music faded as black clouds rolled in. A storm was coming. Lightning split the sky, thunder roared, and waves rose high as mountains. The ship groaned and cracked under the wind's wild power. When the prince was thrown overboard, the Little Mermaid didn't hesitate. She dove into the angry sea, swimming with all her strength. She reached him, wrapped her arms around his shoulders, and pulled him through the stormy water until her tail ached. Hours later, the storm calmed. The morning sun spilled gold over the horizon. The mermaid carried the prince to the shore and laid him on the sand. His face was pale but peaceful. She brushed his dark hair from his eyes and sang softly, just once, before she slipped back into the waves. her heart full of longing. From the cliffs, she watched as a group of people found him. He awoke, looking around as if searching for something, but she was already gone, hidden by the sea foam. Back in her coral palace, the little mermaid could not stop thinking about the prince. She watched the sunlight flicker through the water and imagined what it would feel like to walk beneath it, to dance, to laugh, to hold his hand. At last, unable to bear it any longer, she swam to the far edge of the kingdom, where the sea grew shadowy and strange. The water was thick with swirling smoke, and deep coral branches tangled like twisted trees. In a cave glowing with eerie purple light, the sea witch waited. Her eyes glimmered like black pearls, and her smile was slow and knowing. "I can give you what you want," the witch said, her voice like a wave against stone. "Legs to walk upon the earth, but every gift has a price." The mermaid's voice trembled. "What must I give you?" "Your voice," the witch purred. "The sweetest sound in all the sea. You'll never sing again." The little mermaid's heart ached. Her songs were her soul. But she thought of the prince and how it felt to see him smile. "I'll do it," she whispered. The sea witch's cauldron bubbled and smoked. She poured a potion that shimmered like liquid starlight into a shell and handed it to her. "Drink this when you reach the shore. But remember, if he loves another, your heart will break and you will return to the sea as foam." The little mermaid took the shell in her hands. For a moment, she hesitated. Then, with quiet courage, she nodded, turned, and swam toward the surface, toward her destiny. When she awoke, the morning sun was soft and golden. The waves kissed the sand beside her, and gulls sang overhead. She tried to move and gasped. Her beautiful tail was gone. In its place were two pale legs, trembling in the light. Walking felt strange and wondrous. Every step hurt, but she smiled anyway, for she was finally part of the world she had dreamed of. Soon, the prince found her near the shore. He was amazed, the same girl he had dreamed of seeing again. Though she couldn't speak, her eyes glowed with kindness. He took her hand gently and brought her to his palace, where the people gave her food, soft clothes, and a warm bed. Days turned to weeks. They walked together by the sea, laughed at little things, and watched the sun sink behind the waves. She could not tell him she was the one who saved him, but her love shone through every smile. And yet, sometimes she saw him standing by the window, staring out at the horizon, thinking of the mysterious girl from the storm. Her heart felt heavy, but she still wished him joy. Then, one morning, bells rang across the palace. The prince was to marry a princess from a distant kingdom. The little mermaid's heart trembled like glass in the tide. She smiled bravely, even as the waves outside whispered her name, calling her home. That night, before the wedding, the little mermaid stood alone by the shore. The moonlight danced on the water, and the ocean murmured softly, as if remembering her. Suddenly, her sisters rose from the deep. their long hair flowing around them. Their faces were pale, their eyes full of love and sadness. "We went to the sea witch," they said. "We traded our hair for a chance to save you. Take this dagger. If you use it before sunrise, you can return to us." The little mermaid looked toward the prince's ship. It was lit with golden lanterns and music. Inside, he slept peacefully beside his bride-to-be. She held the dagger in her hands, but her heart knew the truth. She could never hurt the one she loved. Tears sparkled like pearls on her cheeks. She leaned close and whispered softly, "Goodbye, my love." Then she walked to the edge of the deck, where dawn was breaking. The first rays of sunlight touched her skin. The dagger fell from her hand, and she leapt into the sea. But she did not sink. Instead, her body shimmered, turning into light. The water lifted her gently, and she rose like a spark of dawn into the sky. She became one with the air, her voice blending with the wind. From that day on, when the ocean glows at sunrise, sailors say they can hear her song, a melody of love, courage, and dreams that never fade. And now, dear dreamer, it's time for you to rest. May your heart shine bright like the mermaid's song beneath the waves. May your dreams flow gently, your hope sparkle like sea foam, and your courage carry you wherever your heart longs to go. Good night.